Hello, everybody. This is going to be the R prompt. Let's go through it. Excuse me. So a few weeks ago, we watched the Mary J. Blige's video where we encountered the three people, the ones who I named Joyce, Paul, and Pelon. What you're going to do this week is you're going to choose two of them, and you're going to decide which one of them is more likely to break their cycle and get out of it and stay out of it. So you're going to choose one that will, and then two will be the one that you think could second be the best to break out of the cycle. So let's say example Joyce. I think Joyce, once she gets out, gets the right help, she'll break her cycle of abuse. She would be my pro. And then Paul, I think Paul with his drug addiction, he might be he may be able to break it, but I still think Joyce is the better choice. So Joyce would be my pro, Paul would be my con or my opposing. I'm not even going to talk about Pelon. Now, if you wanted to talk about Pelon, maybe he's your pro. Maybe it's easier to get out of a gang than it is to get out of domestic abuse or to get out of a drug addiction. That's why you're going to do research. That's why we have to do research on drug addiction, wife abuse. Especially think about this too. Joyce is a black woman. Is it easier for a black woman to break abuse? Bring in the white. If she were a white woman, it would even be easier because I still think things are a little skewed in this country, unfortunately. But that's it. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Choose your pro, choose your con. You can look over all of this. Okay, requirements, the paper must be 8 to 10 pages long. You have to have your work cited. And in the requirements, you have to have 8 in-text citations. Those 8 in-text citations come from 8 different sources. Can you have 2 in-text citations from one source? From the same source, you can. However, it won't count toward the 8 different sources. So you might want to have 10 in-text citations, but they only come from 8 different sources. That's fine with me. But you need 8 separate sources, and those sources should come from your annotated bibliography that you're doing in week 12. Okay, and then let's take a look. Works cited page, yep, on the works cited page, 8 different. Very good. Here, required format. I'm going to go over that with you. I give a whole page for that. So let me go right there. This is how your paper needs to be formatted. Okay. So format of your essay, your name, and if you're working in a group, all of their names. My name, course name, date, and then the model. You have to choose what model of argumentative essay you're going to use. You can choose A, B, C, or D, and I'll show you those in a second. So that needs to be in the heading, title of your essay. Introduction. You're not obviously going to put bold introduction. You're just going to put your introduction. Indent, obviously. So tab key only. Some people still aren't indenting, and I don't understand why. I think you should have been doing that in high school. But anyway, this is the introduction. You're going to introduce the 2 characters. You're going to introduce the video. You want to set the stage. You do not need to introduce the 8 sources you're going to use. I don't know. In the past, some students have done that. No, set the stage, and then give your thesis. Usually at the end, and make sure it's highlighted in yellow. Make sure it's an argumentative thesis, meaning you have a pro and a con. Then you want to. It depends on here. A, B, C, or D. It depends on the model you're going to choose. Okay, so here, this is model A. It's the one I usually use. So pro, give my, since I'm choosing Joyce as my pro, this is evidence that Joyce can succeed to break the cycle. Pro number 2, pro number 3. Then I'm going to come in, and you can have a pro 4, 5, and 6. That's up to you. Counter argument. Now use the key phrases. You don't need to bold them, but use it as a guide. Opposing views claim that, or something like that, all right? And I'm telling you guys, take this form that I gave you with the models to use and the words opposing views, however, and then the conclosing. My students who go to English 201 do really well because English 201 is all argumentation. But anyway, again, make sure your topic sentence is in yellow. This time, if it's the argumentation and refuting, make sure it's an opposing. Opposing views claim that since Paul was my drug, so Opposing views claim that Paul is more likely to escape his cycle forever more than Joyce. Period. Then you go into it, make sure you refute at the end, spin it back to Joyce, and then you have your closing paragraph. Again, this is if you use model A. If you use model B, C, or D, your paper will be set up a little differently. Have your closing and then your works cited page. Be careful here too. When you're introducing a quote, please remember ICE. You want to introduce the quote according to, give the person or the author's name. So that's I. C is cite, cite it. Give the quote and then cite it. Use MLA, proper MLA, and then explain it. The quote you want to explain in your own words, and how does it relate? How does it fit with the context of your giving? Why is this quote such good support for what you stated? Do not give a quote, 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 quote. Do not string quotes together. This paper should be what you feel or think, but you're backing it up with sources from quotes. Now, they don't need to be quotes. You can paraphrase or summarize as well, but they need to be cited as well. Here's my point. Use ICE. Introduce, cite, explain. If you don't, I'm taking points off for it. Make sure that you're using proper MLA. Okay. If there's a hard page number, just put the number. If there is no page numbers, use paragraph, PAR, period, and the paragraph number. Or if you want to use section, SECT, period, and the number. Follow MLA. I still have people making errors on MLA, and we're in week 12. That's on you. But I am taking points off for everyone. Okay, excuse me. All right, closing, we're excited. That's good. All right, I want to go back and look at the formatting. The ways to set up the paper. So, let me go back here, guys. Required formatting. Here we go, the formats. And you probably have a copy of this already. And again, keep it for English 201. Let me zoom out here. Make this bigger, guys. Excuse me. Maybe I should have made this bigger before I'm wasting time on the video. All right. So look at these models. Model A is the one I usually use. It's the one I'm comfortable with. But if we want to use model B or C, if you want to use model B, C, or D, just make sure that's very clearly stated in your MLA heading. So this is the one I use. You can use any of these. Okay, and look, and again, just because we have 1, 2, 3, you can have more than 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, as much information as you need. Okay, everybody, this paper is due on the 12th of November. Excuse me. Get out of here. Or the 19th of November, the paper is due. So make sure you submit it, make sure you follow the model, make sure you follow the formatting. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care.